What's your favorite multiverse story?
I feel like there aren't that many, right?
There's so many multiverse stories. That's like a very common show. The One.
That's a good one.
Right?
Wait, the what?
Jet Li's the one.
Everything
Where he's got to
Everywhere,
take out all the
at
other
once.
Jet Li's.
Oh, I don't know
Jason
that.
Statham's in it. It's got like a
What?
new metal soundtrack.
I don't know that.
You're the cinema guy.
The One's
Okay,
so
I don't
good.
know every movie.
Well, The One is a big movie.
Okay, let me write it down.
Yeah, going home watching The One on the agenda. Great pull.
Thank you. Everything Everywhere All at Once is multiverse.
That is one, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite.
What?
I mean, it's good. It's fine.
You didn't really. What's going on?
I was gonna. I mean, Everything
What's
Everywhere All at
going
Once.
on?
I love. I
That's
think it's
your
really
favorite?
special. Yeah, because it's like a romance movie disguised in an action movie, and it's like philosophical in it. Like the butterfly effect of it really impacts in a way that I thought was unique. I don't know. It's really special. Like when you finish it, it feels like you watched a film.
Yeah.
Like it's so moving, and it was done for like $7.
I think it's funny you called it a romance movie. I thought of it as like a mother-daughter film.
Yeah, I think of it.
But it is also a romance film.
I just love that line about like, in another universe, we could just love doing taxes. Like
Wow.
that moment of like a guy that is so mature and solemn in like what could have been is so special. Like that to me is romantic.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this might be controversial because it's more like dream world, but like David Lynch, Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to the DC Studios Showcase. I'm nerd commentator Frankey Smith.
I am entertainment journalist Tyler Coates.
I'm comic correspondent Coy Jandreau.
And we are back talking Peacemaker, multiverses, stories with doubles, which are all the rage now, I feel like. Or maybe they've always been the rage.
Twins have been popular, but right now, twins are having a moment.
Yeah, we had a fun time in the green room where I had this conspiracy theory that there aren't any twins younger than 30.
Yeah,
And
that's
I think
not
we've disproven
true.
this. I
Yeah.
think, it has been, we found some. They're
We
out there.
found
The
some.
world's having twins.
When I grew up, there were twins everywhere, and the most prominent one for me were Mary-Kate and
Of
Ashley
course.
Olsen.
Of course.
And they were everywhere. It was fashion, it was makeup, it was books, it was movies. And not only did I want to be a twin, I wanted their outfits. You know what I mean? But they were scandalous. They wore tube tops
Yeah.
at
yeah.
10.
I met someone who bought their house.
What?
I met someone who
Oh,
bought.
because you're super fancy, you know rich people. Okay.
I
Makes
meet
sense.
rich people. I don't know them, but she was like, yeah, they two master bedrooms,
Oh,
two
that's
primary
cool.
bedrooms,
Like,
because they
two-
lived together and they had to have matching stuff.
Today's
For
lore.
them.
That's the
Yeah.
moment.
Very
That's
nice.
the thing I
There
got
you
to
go.
learn today. That's crazy.
Every day's a
Just,
school
yeah.
day.
It's a school day.
Well, let's start off with Peacemaker. We made it to episode 5 of
Yeah.
season 2.
But before that, spoiler warning, we'll be talking about a lot of things that happen in these episodes. So if you haven't watched them, go watch them first, then come back.
Right. Because it's worth watching.
It's
for
worth
sure.
watching.
Absolutely, man. We're turning Tyler into a Stone Cold fan. I love it. Well, before we get started into the breakdown of the episode, I want to give a quick synopsis just to refresh everyone's memory. Harcourt knocks Chris out during an Argus sting operation. Chris is captured by Argus. Rick Flag Sr. beats Chris in an interrogation room until Economos officially books Chris in the system. Chris is released. He brings Eagly to another dimension to start a new life, and Judo Master follows. The remaining 11th Street kids decide to go in and save Chris.
I love this episode for a lot of reasons, but I also think a certain moment happened in this episode. I got to remark here. I think HBO made a rookie mistake, and I think
What's the rookie mistake?
she put an ad out in the magazine. She gave out her phone number just out flippantly.
Yeah,
also,
what was the magazine called? It was like
it was a gun magazine.
it was like
Yeah.
it was like a soldier
Gun
of fortune. Like,
aficionado.
it was like a
But-
mercenary magazine.
I think that was the right audience for what she was trying to read.
But those
Except
are all
that she didn't
scams.
know
And
that-
yeah.
no one who actually.
Also, she
Why are you
like
trying to give him this point?
she solicited prostitution accidentally.
I think that was
she
more
does-
the
that's
silhouette.
That's the
She
bigger
does Greek.
mistake.
We found out,
She does Greek.
and frankly,
let
good
me
for
tell
her.
you, I Googled Greek after I watched the episode.
Did you
Don't.
safe search? Did you carefully navigate that? 'Cause
Don't do that.
I don't
I
have
think
that. Do
that
you
is
have
your
that
rookie
one?
mistake.
No, and that's why
just
he's
go
all
out.
excited.
Just,
You gave him that point. You were
He was
all-
gonna get it.
You
in a
know,
different way.
I think it was a rookie mistake to Google what you did, and here we are.
and look at us, right?
But the episode, like, actually, I think every episode I've liked even more than the last. Like this episode, like really, really, the antagonist leveling up was really special. Like that's what it felt like to me. Like we had the leveling up of Michael Rooker's character. We had Frank Grillo with the triple blind. Like the 4D chess he played of like him knowing what each of our characters' arcs was going to be and knowing how they'd react. Like that shows Waller-like instincts. I like seeing what he's doing to manipulate everyone in any situation. That makes me think like that's why he's the director of Argus. So he leveled up in a way to us. And then we also got like, you know, Judo has this ability to be like very funny and charming, but he's also like an actual physical threat. So I feel like this episode was like, we're past the halfway point. Everyone's leveling up going into the third act in a cool way.
And also Sasha
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
got leveled up. In the comic books, correct me if I'm wrong, is she a cyborg or does she just have a robotic arm?
So that's what's tricky is like that to me is a cyborg. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is a thing.
I mean,
but
it's a prosthetic.
Yeah, but like, but it's very functional. It's not just like it's not like an R-World prosthetic. It's like a heightened,
But
like
yeah,
it's like a
there's
metahuman
magic.
level.
I don't know. Does that make you a cyborg?
I think if you have parts that are enhancing you.
I'm telling Vic Stone you said that.
Does it
He's
not?
gonna be really hurt.
Is that
He's
no-
not real, but it's cyborg and his whole thing
Oh,
is
okay.
like I wanna be human.
Right, yeah.
What is Vic Stone's name?
Huh?
Cyborg?
His name is indeed cyborg.
Is that what I say? That
But
Is
I'm
he
worried.
a cyborg?
I don't think cyborg's like a derogatory term.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be called a robot. Would you?
That's not a robot. It's a cyborg.
I wouldn't
I
wanna-
think cyborg is in the robot umbrella.
Is it a robot
Yeah.
family?
Would you be insulted if you were like you had augmentation? Like someone called you a cyborg?
I mean, it depends on the augmentation.
All right.
All right.
I
So let's talk about Chris being captured
Yeah.
and that whole thing.
And what happens? Bingo, Harcourt fucks up Chris. So that is one.
Yes, but
me.
he let her. It was clear he came there to fight, to subdue to her. She gave him a code word. She didn't think he was going to show up. He showed up because he knew he was going to be captured. And when she attacked him, he was like, because Harcourt at the end of the day is a 90-pound woman.
but like the strongest 90-pound woman.
Yeah.
Like the definition in her delts.
Yeah, she fucked him up.
She,
I'm just
she-
gonna
I'm,
go
not,
with
delts
I'm,
are
not,
traps.
I'm not saying that she's not strong. Is she as strong as Chris Smith? No.
I think
he was
with,
fucked up at the end of it. He also was fucked up emotionally.
Yeah.
I think
and
that
then
was more. He was like, I can't.
also
So I think it
like
still
she did
counts.
moves that are using his momentum against him. The
Yeah.
strength in that like maneuvering was why she won. I think in a fight like that she could still beat him.
I think because in season 1 we saw him fight Judo Master, that if he puts his mind to it and just, he's an immovable object. She's impressive and I love her character. Don't tell James Gunn or but
I'm still marking it.
okay, well, let's move on to Chris being interrogated
Mm-hmm.
and us seeing the team choose him instead of themselves, right? Because before then, even in Economos, he's choosing himself. Like, he's helping Chris, but to me, he's been choosing himself every
Yeah,
time.
he's
He
keeping
doesn't
his
wanna
job.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be unemployed. And I think this was the first time they were like, no, we're going to choose everyone, even though you guys wouldn't choose me if we were in a...
We didn't.
We've
you
got
didn't
birthdays
let
to
us
plan.
Get to that point.
They
frankly, is
didn't
the
even
point.
think about
Yeah.
it. They said, let's
But
hop
no,
in.
I mean he's also choosing to do the right thing in
Yeah.
a way. Like he thinks he's supposed to like book this guy because that's the process, and so Flag doesn't want him to, so that he can beat the shit out of him.
I did notice that Fleury told Economos he did the right thing when he booked him.
Right.
So maybe that's a hint that, like,
I think Tim Meadows is a good guy. I think Fleury's a good guy.
I think so too. I think especially when Eagly was cooking all them at Peacemaker's house, he was just a little bit too bumbling. Like, I get he has bird blindness, but especially when they went outside, I was like, you're kind of sabotaging. It felt like
Right.
he was sabotaging.
Right.
So
That joke also has worked for me more and more as the season's gone on.
I thought it was
really like the
hilarious
bird
from the
blindness.
beginning.
Like it's really it's hitting me. It's growing.
when he was looking, he was like, I don't know, is that a duck or is it da-da-da? And like him
You
telling
said he had a
Sasha-
duck. Like it's just the delivery, so good.
I think ducks are terrifying. So that would work for me either. I've never seen a bald eagle, but the ducks in Central Park are like nothing to fuck with. And so I really felt him there.
Well,
truly.
New Yorkers, they're tough.
I want to give a little credit to not just the Harcourt fucks up Chris, which I did get as well, which I was defending, but
Oh,
also
okay.
that does confirm Peacemaker versus Rick Flag Seniors. That's 2. I'm just,
You got 2?
just saying.
Oh,
It's
I got
recent.
one. I got that too. Peacemaker versus.
Because the interrogation room scene, like that was brutal. Like that was such a great fight, and I love Peacemaker not willing to fight back.
You got 3 points just now?
Just now, like
And
today.
you was talking all that. Oh, I'm
Rookie
losing.
mistake
we got-
versus and
we
messes
got
up
one
Chris.
Wow. Wow. Well, since we're talking about Rick Flag Sr., let's talk about, you know, his issues with Chris and his vendetta against him. Do you think that it's justified? Do you think he's taking it too far?
I think the best antagonists are people you can understand where they're coming from. Like, I killed his son. Like, I really think Rick Flag Sr. is in the right in his own mind in a way that doesn't feel like a leap. Like, I feel,
Yeah.
you know, people can grow, but he killed his son.
Yeah.
So I really like that the journey between Chris in season 1 to now is the thing that he wouldn't have gotten any exposure to. Like from a psychological perspective, he just sees the guy that killed his kid. He doesn't know he's grown as a person. And at the end of the day, does that matter? His kid's never coming back.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really painful story because you really understand where someone's coming from and the choices they'd make. But the problem is when they get power, like how much they abuse that power out of emotion.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really wonderful villain for this story because it feels so grounded and real, so then the world of multiversal stuff can feel like it can breathe. Like if the more grounded the story is, the more you're like, that's plausible, so then you can add the flourishes. So I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And we've also saw in Creature Commandos how emotional he is and how he leads with his emotions versus
his libido.
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
And it's like, which is a Flag, I guess, signature because also
He does lead with his flag,
son-
yeah.
Yeah.
I think both flags
What?
led with their flag. Flag senior and junior, leading with flag, making them choices.
I agree, though. It's be forever, right?
And
you kill my
it's also
son.
funny because I think it's Harcourt who tells Rick, you know, Amanda Waller ordered him to do this.
Yeah.
And his thing is like, well, everyone
But you got-
rebels against her. So it's just so funny that he's still so stuck on Chris
But
and Peacemaker as the bad
He's
guy.
correct, though,
Yeah.
because at that same moment, right? Yes, Amanda Waller gave that directive. Oh, but you know what? Chris would have died, right? If
Yeah.
he said no. I think that's the difference between him and Harcourt and Economos. Like they could stand up to Amanda Waller because they didn't have bombs in their head, right? But I also feel Rick Flag because like you killed my son.
Yeah.
You killed my son.
But plenty of people stood up to Waller with bombs in their head with Project Starfish. Like they went for it. They got saved by the team in the unit, but like they wouldn't have known that Economos and them would have tackled and like taken out Waller. They were willing to risk their lives. So like that's a hero versus Peacemaker was pretty selfish. And that's the beauty of a real narrative is you can see both sides' perspective.
And it haunts him, right? He's talking about it that's all he's thinking about is Peacemaker, what a joke. Peacemaker, what a joke.
It's like same thing about the cyborg, like someone named Cyborg who doesn't want to be referred to as a cyborg.
Yeah.
Peacemaker, his title is very ironic
Yeah.
most of the time because he's not keeping the peace. He's actually not even making it. He's creating a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
So I think that like it shows to me like all these characters are so complex and complicated because their version of the right thing could be the drastically wrong thing for someone else.
And I think that's really interesting to choose these characters for a story like this. Like James Gunn is really good at taking things that are seemingly surface and adding so much depth to them and making things that like would feel very sardonic, so sincere. Because like this is Peacemaker. This is a character that, you know, the comedian's based off of. This is a character that is a representative of a certain type of ideal that's kind of been abused and muddied. And you make that a redemption story. Like before the Suicide Squad, I never would have imagined I would have this much capacity to love Peacemaker. But when you have the time to show the layers of like redemption and caring about like his mistakes and like we identify with this character so much more every episode, much less over the course of these years. And I think that's a testament to John Cena's acting this season. Like it's not, the writing's incredible, but the acting is also like both of them are crushing it.
You know, I'm not going to lie. A lot of people, even on the podcast, they're talking about like how much better John Cena's acting is. And truthfully, I thought he was phenomenal in season 1.
Oh, he's good. I
You
think
know?
he's being asked to do a lot more.
I think he's being asked
So
to
we
do
haven't
it
seen
more.
him do this.
Yeah,
type
but
of material.
I felt that complexity in season 1 as well. I felt that darkness. There's a scene where he's playing the piano and he's like reflecting on things. I'm like, John Cena is cooking. And he does a very good job of like, you know, Peacemaker is ditzy in a way, but he's very smart. He's very tactical. And I think that he arranged that thing with Harcourt. I mean, not together, but he knew
he
what
knew
the
what was
consequences.
going to happen. Yeah.
Exactly. That being said, do you think that he was naive to go into this new universe thinking, hey, I could just take a new life and be okay?
I think so. Well, he's leading with his ego because like he goes there and immediately he's like, everyone is like, we love you. I mean, he even says best dimension ever, and he doesn't like look around at like what. And we'll talk about this, but he doesn't look around at the world that he's entering.
Yeah.
All he sees is like, oh, I'm getting like all the warm and fuzzy feelings I'm desperate to have, this like love in my life.
And it's also
like his brother and his father are back. You know?
I was gonna say it's specifically filling his broken spots, like him wanting adoration, check. His brother back, check. Like it is the fulfillment in a way that isn't realistic, and that's why he's so like that has to be. I love it. It's perfect.
Yeah. I think what he's doing is incredibly creepy. And especially like if I was Harcourt and I walked in and this guy I rejected went to another universe to date me, I'd be creeped out. You know what I mean? And
it's kind of like Groundhog Day when he's like manipulating the world so that Annie McDowell eventually falls in love with him. It's on that border
and
of just being
there
like,
are
is that
questions
okay?
of consent that's going in that universe too, right? Like
it's a gaslighting undercurrent, I would say.
Yes. And because this is a different man, right? We're seeing every time he speaks that Keith is shocked at things that he says. And when they interact, this is a different man in every sense, his experiences, all of that, right? I don't know if you've ever watched Severance.
Oh, I love Severance.
Yeah, you've watched it too, right? Yeah, that's a through line through it, right? Where we see different versions of themselves, but because they don't have the same experiences, they have different personalities.
I also think it's a really good use of multiverse in a drama, like this show and Severance. But I think it's really impressive that you can see how someone reacting to your choices shows how much you've grown. Like it's a really wonderful way to show the psychology of growth by having like this world.
How did you feel about Adrian and the way that he interacted with his doppelganger?
You know I love Adrian.
I know you did. I love it too.
I think it's exactly what I would expect, and I think that's what we all wanted. Like it felt like such a great payoff of like, and we've gotten to the point. Like, and here's the gift of this madness.
I love that he knew that it'd be fine.
Oh yeah, he's like so purely himself always to like such an extreme and sometimes stupid extent that like of course his double would be almost exactly the same.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I always joke like everyone has like a Parent Trap fantasy, right? Like you want to like meet your long lost twin and like cause some trouble. You don't?
No.
Oh, I do.
Why? You don't want to like switch places with someone for a day?
Why
Freaky Friday somebody? But like I think that like that's he's like going with that in mind. He's like, like we could just switch places and no one would know, and I could just live your life and you could live mine. It'd be great.
I love that everyone else we see they're very different in that universe because of the universe.
Yeah.
But Adrian is the same, no matter
to
what.
his core.
To his core, he's the same
He's a
person.
pure being through all multiverses.
Since we're on the topic of the other universe and the things that make it different, let's get into episode 6 because it was a doozy.
Yeah.
Before we get into spoilers, which once again, there are spoilers for episode 6, I want to do a quick synopsis so we all know what's going on, okay? The 11th Street kids go through the QUC from Vigilante's house. Keith, too, brings Harcourt to Argus headquarters. Vigilante finds Vigilante, too. Rick Flag Sr. meets with Lex Luthor at Belle Reve, huge, while Harcourt and Chris reunite at Argus headquarters, and they finally notice what's different in this world.
It's really interesting because when things are idyllic, there's that sense of like waiting for the other shoe to drop and wondering what it is. Like there's that inherent like, what's wrong here?
And this whole episode was like leading up to, I didn't really think that going in or even watching it until the very end.
To the twist?
Yeah.
I don't want to quite get into the twist.
I won't say the twist, but I will say I love that this episode opened with that and then went right to answering what I felt like they were setting up. And that to me was, I kept thinking, is this a dream universe? I thought we were going to get something that was like magic in the sense of an ideal world for Chris. I thought it was literally the portal wasn't multidimensional because he kept saying like, I thought it was like he kept saying I love this dimension. He kept saying like it's perfect in his own. So I thought he was under a spell of some kind. Like I thought maybe Enchantress. And so when Economos goes, oh, I guess he's not making it up. I was like, me too. I was wondering. Like as soon as they saw the helmets, it answered what I'd been asking. So before we got to the twist, I was like, okay, it's not that then, so what is it? And I loved that moment.
I mean, I was aligned with what the twist was. I definitely didn't think it was that, but I essentially thought it would be like I don't know, like Equilibrium, where like everyone's being controlled or something like that. Word to Starro, like what Starro
See,
wanted
because
to
the
do.
butterflies I didn't. Because like remember season one, I was like James wouldn't have another season of control. Like there's no way he'd have like a dimension of the thing the butterflies were doing.
And now that you mention it, I guess kept forgetting there's a lot of magic in DC. And we didn't talk about it when we talked about episode 5, but Eagly finally goes head to head and becomes Prime Eagle.
Yeah.
And that scene where Red Saint Wild is kind of trying to locate Eagly, I read it as magic. Because in the DC world, there are magic users like Cersei, who we saw in Creature Commandos. She's a sorceress.
And she's powers,
And
right?
she's powers. But there are people who can wield magic who are just normal people.
I mean, that's what like the you know, the multiverse like door opening is, sort of, right?
Is it
I mean,
science
is
or
it
is it
science
magic?
or magic? Or
That
is, it
is an
both?
argument the Flash always brings up.
Oh, good to
Is
know.
it, even though he's magic, I think, you know, he's always arguing like, is it science or is it magic that I do? But it's canon that there is magic, especially in the DCU. And I'm not sure if what Red did was...
I think it was magic. I mean, he did like make a sigil and there was lighting. He found them. Right?
He found them.
Like, how would he? He's not a tracker clearly that good. Like, he's a good one, but not like see above. I feel like that proved magic.
Yeah, and it kind of was like opened his third eye. I love that scene.
So therefore, I thought magic. You know, they made magic very clear. I thought it was going to be a magic element of tricking specifically Chris. Like that was what I was waiting for. And that. So then the twist, which we haven't gotten to yet, was so. I felt so like, oh, they did a thing I was so unprepared for. And that's so beautiful when you can be surprised by art to the level of like, I was right there.
Yeah, yeah. And we can talk about the twist, which we have confirmed there aren't explicit things. I was wondering, like, have there been Nazi symbols all around and we haven't been looking just like Chris, but they were hidden. I will say this. Maybe it's because in comic book media until recently, I am conditioned to see nothing but white people.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But James Gunn has always had very diverse cast. He's always made sure, particularly in Peacemaker, that there are a lot of people of color. And it just didn't click to me.
Yeah.
You know? And I don't know why I would think that in a world where just Keith lives, that Chris's father would not be racist.
Right.
Like, why?
But he's still right. But he doesn't have to be as overtly. I don't know. But he's a hero for different reasons. You know,
he was
because he's being worshipped as a hero.
It was insinuated to me initially that he was no longer racist because he was Blue Dragon, right?
Yes.
So I was like, oh, that shift means that he's about it. You know.
But in reality, they just like it's a different need. It's a different person that they need to like follow.
And they showed, when they showed the Nazi flag, it was on blue.
Right.
So that kind of.
I also thought it was interesting, the bias that, you know, as viewers we have to not pick out. Like, there's a blind spotting element to media. And I think there's also a commentary on what media is if we don't notice because people complaining like something isn't blank. Like anytime something changes something, people are like, why don't they invent a new character? But then as soon as you see all these like pure white characters, we didn't clock it.
None of us clocked it.
Also, I think too, and this is why Chris doesn't clock it, is because he's a white guy. He like, the world was built for him. So like when there's, he like comes up against no resistance because the world around him is white.
Yeah.
So like, you know, he's not like a racist person generally, but because he has this even more immense sense of privilege, that he's just like, oh, this world's built for me. It was.
Yeah,
but he doesn't realize like the negative connotation of that.
Yeah.
Because he's so blinded by like the ego and
I'm glad that he cared about it, right?
Yeah.
Because he could have been like, man, that sucks, but like, this is a great world.
Exactly. My brother's still alive.
Yeah.
But your brother's kind of a Nazi.
And that
But
shows
he
the growth in
immediately
Chris.
locked in.
Yeah, that shows the growth in Chris, because I don't know if the Suicide Squad era Chris, like before he started realizing the error in his ways, I don't know if it would have been his first thought.
Yeah.
Like, it's really beautiful to see that he's immediately, rejecting that. Like, this isn't acceptable.
And it wasn't just freedoms that we saw taken away from his friend like Adebayo. We also see that Harcourt is very different. She doesn't know how to fight.
Yeah.
She only wears dresses.
Yeah, she's wearing pants was such a great...
Yeah, right. And he said it with disdain, and I was like, so what? She's wearing pants.
Right.
But I thought they were trying to say, like, she's not as sweet. But I think even that sweet demeanor that she's giving off was also, like, part of her playing into the patriarchy.
Yeah, I mean, the patriarchy is heightened
Yeah.
because just like, yeah, men rule the world even more so than in our own.
Yeah.
There's also an interesting commentary on like what this idyllic world means when you like trickle down from that. It's like the women in dresses and like, you know, there's that energy of like the makeup of bygone era. It feels very, you know, of a certain tone of like trying to seek this ideal world. But the cost, I'm curious of what we look at in the next couple episodes. I'm wondering if we're going to see like all magic has a cost. All racism has a cost. Like I'm wondering if we're going to see the consequences of what the negative of for other people are.
But I think to your point is the test is, does Chris care about that cost? Because does it affect him as much? Before we move on, I would like to say that there are some bingos that we should look out for. The first one being Vigilante said something wildly inappropriate, which is half of him at his mom's house.
Yes,
and
his
secret
poor
lair.
mom. His poor mom.
It was, I believe it
his
was
sweet
tick
mom.
on my dick that I consider. I think that is.
Do you guys have that?
I don't have that. Dang.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Tick on a dick.
Wow.
And then there's another
catching.
one. What's the other one?
The other one is a shout out to a notable DC location where they go to
Belle Reeve.
Belle Reeve.
Another
And-
little.
and they see Lex Luthor.
Yeah. Okay. Remember in Creature Commandos when I was describing episode, I think it was 5, maybe it was 6, but it was the flash forward to the future. It was all the drama with Rick Flag. Like that to me, that was like a perfect episode because it felt like a full comic. This was really similar, where it was like there's a twist. It has action, it has comedy, and then it's got an incredible world-building cameo. I don't like when cameos are just to be like, ooh, something to put on a thumbnail. But when it like serves a purpose.
This was like it's a connective tissue, and I also think it's interesting because like Lex and Superman is very different from the Lex and Peacemaker in terms of like Superman is a family-friendly film. Peacemaker is not a family-friendly show, and the Lex that we hear at least, I mean, he's dropping f-bombs.
Yeah.
Would not do that in the PG-13 Superman.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it's an interesting use of like the medium and knowing like how to tell the story depending on
I think James
those
Gunn
levels,
specializes with that, and maybe because he's written so many comic book films and shows, so he's done like Guardians of the Galaxy where it's PG-13, and then been able to do Suicide Squad
R, right?
Yeah, he did those within the
Got
same
the first
year.
F word in the Marvel Universe.
Was it Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy?
Guardians 3.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Chris Pratt with the door.
Even Guardians 1, I just rewatched that. He was pushing that
Yeah.
to the edge of PG-13.
Yeah.
Speaking of, we actually didn't talk about Chris and Harcourt when they reunite at Argus and they have that visceral conversation.
Just tell me the truth. Do you have feelings about me or not?
So what? So you're gonna stay here if I don't and come home if I do?
See? You just keep talking around it.
Chris, I'm a fucking nightmare!
I don't care.
I do, okay? I don't have access to my feelings like you do.
Listen, I feel what Harcourt is grappling with. I personally am of the mind that she's an op, right? You killed my man, and now I'm in love with you. It just can't happen. So like, her grievances for me was really hard to connect to because at the end of the day, she's talking to Rick Flag Sr. and like trying to be on her side. And I know that she had this moment with Peacemaker, but to me, it was always egregious that she slept with him, that she allowed herself to fall in love with the man that killed the other man that she was in love with. You know?
I mean, that's what makes it exciting, right? I mean,
guys are
that's what
messy
makes it juicy.
bitches.
Yes, it's soapy.
I think life isn't like what you control. Like life, what happens
can
between the
control
cracks.
that.
I mean, that's what I like about the show too is that, you know, there are these really grounded elements of it, but it still has to be like an entertaining comic book story.
Heightened reality.
So there are these like really big, I mean, just the fact that Chris killed his father is so insanely heightened, and the way that you ending that first season on that, and then him grieving this thing, even though his father fucking sucked.
His son.
And what?
The son, not the father. He killed his son.
Oh no, I'm talking about his own father.
His own father.
Oh, his own father. Yeah,
His own
totally.
father,
like,
yeah.
I mean, he killed
And he
his
killed
brother.
his brother in the
yeah.
first season.
So like there are these really, really heavy things that happen that are so heightened, and that's what like puts such of a heavy burden on his back. You know?
And I think they're setting it up for him to kill his father and brother again. in this universe.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
You know
I
what
mean,
I mean?
that like the cost of that world and like, does the world keep going? Yeah.
Or that, you can't run away from your destiny.
Right.
Are
Oh,
you
you think it's a destiny? Okay.
I
Like
don't know,
inevitabilities?
or just like, what are you? Like, what type of person? You're the type of person that kills your father and brother, right? Like,
Right.
that's who Chris Smith
But
is.
no, I think for Harcourt, I think it's just like the chemistry is so irresistible.
They're
How do
so
you-
good. Yeah,
how
they
do
are
you-
really
I mean,
good.
look, John Cena, objectively handsome man, and then I watched the first episode of Peacemaker and him dancing around in his underwear. I was like, that is a hot man.
Also, the type of people they
I
are.
mean,
like
yeah.
Harcourt clearly works out. Clearly, someone that loves a beer and like rock music. Like, there's
Yeah.
an energy of like, they make sense. So like,
they
I
have
would
toxic
say,
masculinity
yeah,
together.
that's her.
Together.
To me, that's
They
like
have so much in common.
who's destined for him more than her. And I really like that the character is written to have op moments, but I don't think she's totally removed from like how this could happen. It feels natural.
Well, I agree. Well, let's talk about the most natural part, I think, was how they introduced the twist, with showing him and Harcourt talking in Argus and realizing some things are amiss, which Harcourt noticed earlier in the episode as she's driving there, right?
Yeah, she's clocking it.
Yeah, she's clocking it. But also Adebayo just going for a stroll.
She literally says it's safer out there than in here. Like, and then
Yeah.
goes outside in the world.
I know. And I mean, obviously, James Gunn has always been very aware of the way that he writes things. And to have a Black woman walk through suburbia
Mhm.
and then instantly get in trouble and get chased by a white mob, I was like, James Gunn is
Yeah, again, like
it's
the
Creature
heightened-
Commandos level.
Yeah, like a really heightened version of a very realistic thing for some
Yeah.
people.
When the first woman drove by and like doubled, like
Yeah.
I was like, what were they going? Oh,
Right,
like
yeah.
it was that like, why is she looking?
Is it
'Cause-
starts with like a neighborhood watch and then goes
exactly.
to like pure mob.
And I was hoping there
Yes.
was a moment where I was like, maybe she filled her mother's shoes in this universe.
Mm.
Like I didn't.
That's what I thought.
Just for a
immediately,
moment,
too.
I was like, what if she's the Waller here? And then I was
And
like,
they're
much
just
worse.
excited to see her.
No,
I guess- or-
Like she's
people-
leading Argus, like she's like running things.
Oh,
Like,
I see.
I thought she was the big bad of this universe, and it was gonna be like, I'm just.
Oh, I
like,
see what you're saying.
So when it was like just racism, I was
Right.
like, oh,
Oh,
he's
you're
going
like,
there.
oh, duh, that too.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
Right.
oh, that too.
So I love that it kept it from us until this far into the season. I love that we're like 6 out of 8 episodes, and then this twist can feel like it rewrites everything we've seen so far.
Yeah.
And also it makes us look at who Chris was versus is. Like real multiversal stories, the reason I love Everything Everywhere All at Once so much is it makes you look at all the different universes and what's the through line, and it makes you look at your choices and like your butterfly effect. Like, how would I be different over here? How would I be different here? And Chris is someone who might not have seen these signs, and he didn't see the signs, but how now in the next episode is going to react to these signs. And our Chris, we know, is so good that that's like a negative, and that feels really great in a character that has that father, like that did kill his brother, not at his fault, but like comes from that world. Like that's a really beautiful story to tell with a character named Peacemaker.
So what do you think we would be like in an alternate universe?
Like one big change that would surprise us, or like I think we each like
Going-
make a change and then see if you agree or disagree. Like what's Earth to me, Earth to Tyler.
Or like what Bizarro World Coy is.
Yeah, but Tyler, man, coming in hot.
Okay, first of all, Bizarro World, it's
I don't know.
extended
It's okay
beyond
if you're
comics.
But
DC
Bizarro
fan
is a very
now.
good character.
We
Cut to
won't
Tyler
tell.
as soon as he's off camera reading everything, lapping me.
I think Coy would be like an Andrew Tate type, like man. That would be Bizarro Coy.
Wow,
Like instead
just
of
like
intense
toxic
positivity,
and awful.
that's the
I would just say,
opposite.
I don't even know how to react to that.
I'm
Just
sorry,
like,
but that's saying how good you are now.
I mean, it
right?
is, I suppose.
I was just gonna
You're
say,
like, I don't even like not
I
like.
don't even, yeah, I'm like thinking about, I'm like physically uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah.
I was gonna say soft-spoken, quiet, talks really slowly.
Doesn't track his protein.
No beats.
I love that you're like, this is a.
I'm trying to make the
defining
tiny
factor
little
of you.
thing like doesn't have jerky for breakfast. You're like, what if he's a monster? Man, I don't know how to top coming out the gate with the Tate
I'm sorry,
dark.
but that's darkest timeline.
It really
I
is.
was
That
going
really
darkest
is. All right,
timeline.
all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Wow. What
Yeah.
about me?
Well, obviously you won't be fancy in it if it's the opposite, right?
I'll be just disgusting
You're a
dirtbag.
farmer. Since we were talking about.
I got it.
Okay.
Hyper misogynistic. So like you like have no like bad hygiene, hates women, but like a little bit on like the like backhanded mode. Like
But
a
you're
little,
closeted gay.
Oh,
like really repressed about everything, so you lash out at others.
So it's like, because there has to be through lines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
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 A little backhandy.
You're very southern.
Ooh.
You don't have the
Ooh.
Bronx accent. It's like a real, like a Louisiana.
Ooh, I like
like
that.
that.
Like
Creole.
Tiana.
Yeah, yeah, like Tiana.
Like Princess Tiana.
Yeah, like a non-city Frankie. Like that
Yeah.
already
Dolly
is a leap.
Parton. Right?
Backwoods Frankie.
Yeah.
I think I could say a Southern word.
Oh no.
I would-
Goodbye, Southern audience.
So
Anyone
give me a
south of the
good
Mason
Southern
Dixon?
term.
Y'all?
Y'all.
Reckon
y'all. But I
Y'all.
say y'all.
Yeah, that's
That
not,
ain't y'all.
y'all.
Like instead of y'all, I'll say
Mosey?
Here's a
Mosey.
phrase that I love. Here's a phrase I love that a friend's sister overheard. I hear if you drink beer through a straw, you'll get drunk as hell.
What?
Right, this will be the line reading.
Can you say that?
Frankie's coming in to play part of
you
Hi,
say
my
that?
name is Frankey Smith, reading for Princess Tiana. I don't know why I'm looking at this. Like,
It's not the line isn't there. I just pulled it
you
from my head.
said, I hear.
I heard.
Why am I looking
I
for
heard.
Wait, one more time.
I heard if you drink beer from a straw, you'll get drunk as hell.
I heard if you drink beer from a straw, you get drunk as hell.
It's close.
That's
you
like
said the word.
Excellent.
like a mid-Atlantic, like an old like Fey accent. Like,
You can see you put you in the papers.
Yeah.
my family's so south, they say my name with 2 syllables. When you meet my grandparents.
Coy.
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 I'm Coy.
Coy.
There's like, it's like C-O''OY.
Yeah, the right way to say my name is Tala.
Tal.
Tala.
Tyler. What is your favorite double story? Now, because we've been talking about parallel universes and doubles.
Oh, like movies and TV with doubles?
Yeah.
I love Adaptation a lot, the Nicolas Cage film.
Okay.
Where he plays like the writer, like the 2 Nick Cages. The movie Enemy with Jake Gyllenhaal, I love 7/8 of. Right up until the last 10 minutes. I love everything but the end. I think it's the only bad Denis Villeneuve ending, but like the rest of the movie's amazing. And then I like 2 and 3. And then it's slept on. Legend, Tom Hardy, Celebrate Our Birthday. Tom Hardy playing the twins, the villain. What were their names?
They were like British mobsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crank twin? No. But yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Have you ever seen this movie called Dave?
No.
Starring
When you
Kevin
said Dave-
Kline.
Where's the president?
So Kevin Kline plays the president, and he also plays the president's like doppelganger. And the president has a heart attack or a stroke or something, so they get this guy to come in to pretend to be the president for a while.
Really?
It's very funny. So that's a good one.
I'm gonna go with Mickey 17 with Robert Pattinson. I one thought that accent he chose was stupendous.
But bonkers.
This is bonkers. I love that it was ridiculous, especially knowing that he's not American. So him picking that accent, I don't know. I thought it was very Gotham coded, like the Matt Reeves Gotham.
Right, yeah.
The accents are so ridiculous. The director of that film, the writer and director, I forgot his name.
Bong Joon-ho.
He is Korean. He wrote Parasite, right? And it felt like I was watching a K-drama. Mickey 17 is a K-drama. And even Peacemaker, there's a lot of that's how they build and twist into K-dramas.
No, Bong Joon-ho, he mixes a lot of tones.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen The Host, which is about a kaiju that shows up like a soul.
No.
And
I've heard
oh my god,
these
it's so good.
things.
It's the main actor from Parasite is in it as well. And it's a family drama because the kaiju kidnaps the youngest daughter. So the whole family gets together to go find her.
Wow.
And it's it's obviously a monster movie, but it's very sweet. It's very funny and weird. It's so good.
Check that out.
I got one, but it's a spoiler for the end of the movie. So spoilers for a movie that came out a long time ago. The Prestige.
I was
such a
Oh, The Prestige.
it's such a good.
Say no more unless people haven't seen it. But
Yeah,
love-
The Prestige.
yeah, there is
That's
a double
not a double,
situation.
though. It's a lot of them. It's worth a double.
Real.
That's
Well,
a
there are
lot
literally
of a double.
17 Mickeys and Mickey 17, so.
But in the movie, it's just 2
Yeah.
the whole time,
Okay,
right?
okay.
We got
Throughout
a
the
montage.
Prestige.
We got a montage, Frankie.
Of what? Mickey 17? Yeah, but throughout the film of The Prestige, there's always multiples.
All right.
I don't know. I'm being very technical.
Very.
You're right. Well, with that being said, it's time for us to do our DC Showcase Spotlight. Coy, you can begin.
I watched an incredible series because I've been on a Max kick, and I've been liking TV. I'm usually a movie guy, but I've been enjoying like a nice 30-minute, 40-minute bite-sized experience. I watched the thing that Issa Rae is now so world famous for. I'd never seen Insecure.
Oh.
Insecure.
Welcome. There's no doubles in Insecure.
Sorry, I didn't
It's
do
one
a
on
twins
everybody.
movie, but like I've been watching TV more than movies because I feel like that's my weakness. Like not knowing TV and pop culture, I want to like work on. Insecure is crazy good.
It's incredible.
Soundtrack's incredible. Like the tone of the show, it feels very like slice of life in a way that shows try to be but fail at. Like there's like usually one or two red flags where you're like, nah, it's inauthentic. Like everyone feels so real, everything feels so lived in. Jadena's in an episode.
Yeah.
And then the next episode, Jadena does a soundtrack, which was confusing because I was thinking comic-y and I was like, in universe, was he singing? But it doesn't matter. But like Insecure, I think is one of the funniest shows that I didn't realize was as funny. Like usually when you hear about a show, you hear it's great, but, or it's funny and you don't hear about the prestige. I heard how good Insecure was, and then it was so funny.
Yeah.
Like Insecure is so good.
Some of the biggest R&B artists that are out right now are all introduced on Insecure. SZA, Brent Faiyaz, Daniel Caesar, all on the soundtrack that Issa Rae put out.
She's such a genius. Like I know
definitely-
she's an entrepreneur and everything now, and like restaurants and things, but the world she cultivates, you can tell why she's good at so many things through this show.
Yeah, when you're done, you should watch Rap Shit. It's
Okay.
also on Max and by Issa Rae.
Now, I don't know if this is on HBO Max, but I'm going to recommend it. Big Business. In the 80s, it stars Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. This is sort of like my imagination of your alternate universe. They are twins who are separated at birth. So there's a country set of Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin, and then there's a city Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin. And the country one goes to New York City.
It's fun.
Uh-huh.
And hijinks ensue.
I love
There's
that.
a lot of revolving door gags
Okay.
where because Lily Tomlin and Bette Midler both sets think that they're twins. They don't realize that they have other actual twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Okay. So my spotlight is Rick and Morty, which is also on HBO Max. Have
Okay.
either of you ever
I've
seen
never
it?
watched
I've seen a
Rick
few
and Morty,
episodes.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. It's psychedelic. It's a space odyssey about the most intelligent man in the universe, in the multiverse.
Is that Rick or
I'm not
Morty?
gonna spoil stuff. Huh?
Is Rick or Morty the most intelligent person?
Morty is also, Rick is. I'll say, I don't want to spoil things for you.
Is it like a Doc Brown thing? Isn't it like Back to the Future? Like one of them's like
They're,
A doctor, yeah, like a
Like he's
mad
got that energy.
scientist.
I think the dynamic and the way they're designed is based on it loosely, but it's not like Back to the Future.
Got it.
Rick is very smart and he's dragging his grandson along on these hijinks.
Got it.
And there are a lot of multiverse work. There's an evil Morty. That's a great storyline. And it started off as something that's episodic, and then you find out that it's actually all connected by like season 3 or 4.
Cool.
And it's beautifully done. And they have action scenes in it that are very practical that I very much enjoy. Like it's space and he's fighting aliens and stuff like that, but the way that he does it, he's always bored. He's he's just doing it because he's smart and he knows how to get through it. But with that being said, that's our episode for today. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of DC Studio Showcase. I'm nerd commentator Frankey Smith.
I'm entertainment journalist Tyler Coates.
I'm comic correspondent Coy Jandreau.
And you can catch new episodes every other Friday on HBO Max's YouTube, HBO Max. You can watch us on Spotify, or you can listen to us anywhere there are podcasts.
And if you're listening and you want to give us a great review, go ahead, do it. Go crazy.
And if you want to check out some comic books, I'd recommend Peacemaker-wise. There's a series called Peacemaker Tries Hard that is written very much like the show. I'll probably talk about it more next week. But Peacemaker Tries Hard and lots of other comics are on the DC Universe Infinite app, which is DC's online comic catalog. Or support your local comic store. Either way, go read some comics.
We know you guys have a lot to say, so don't forget to comment on YouTube, on Spotify, or you could talk to us directly. You can find me on all platforms at Fantastic Frankey, Frankey.
I am on Instagram and Blue Sky under Tyler Coates.
You can hunt me down on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at Coy Jandreau, CoyJandreau.
And we'll see you all in 2 weeks.
This was an OBB sound production from HBO Max and DC Studios, hosted by Frankey Smith, Tyler Coates, and myself, Coy Jandreau. Executive producers for DC Studios, Phil Soponides, Gary Barbosa. Executive producers for DC are Mike Pilata and Victor Diaz. Executive producer for HBO Max is Becky Rowe. Producer for HBO Max is Aaron Kelly. Executive producers for OBB are Michael D. Ratner, Scott Ratner, and Toby Lawless. Production manager, Kevin Lynn. Studio coordinator, Elijah Matias. Director of photography, Heath Gresham. First assistant camera, Chris Piper. Camera operator, Ben Cohen. Gaffer, Arthur Garcia. Key grip, Sam Satoski. Sound mixer and editor, Josh Falcon. Sound mixer, Darren Bowling. Composer, Ethan Walter of The Ringers. Hair and makeup artist, Kendall Shannon. Host coaching, Lisa Linky. Associate producer, Tess Bartholomew. Production assistant, Antonio Cavallo. Post-production supervisor, Mariana Chrysostoma. Assistant editor, Mark Alcacid. Editor, Adam Grabarnik. Director of Creative Development and Social Strategy, Lenore Castro. Senior Coordinator, Creative Development and Social Strategy, Sharif Bakari. Special thanks, OBB intern, Kira Hochberg. OBB intern, Amaya Machni. DC intern, Ava Escada. Associate producer, Chris Stith. Assistant producer, Athena Cheris.